wonderful music continues. Hello everyone, I am Bowser Jr. XD, and welcome back to Professor Layton in the Curious Village. In the last episode, we cleared Chapter 7, running away from the Ferris wheel after we explored the park because it was chasing after us. It destroyed a shack. We went down into the shack to find a secret tunnel, which led to a secret storage room, where we found a secret tower key. Layton is going to head back to the inn, but he also has a feeling about who has been following us this whole time and causing that such misfortune. To start off, we're going to go actually down into the sewer. To the right, Sylvain is here.
It's you two lads again. You're a pair of oddballs coming all this way just to see me. But luckily for you, I've got myself a darling of a puzzle, and I'm trying to share it with you.
Puzzle number 92. Wash up, 30 picarats. You need to wash your face, but all 13 water valves in the pipe are shut tight. You must open the valves to get the water flowing to your sink. So here's closed valves are marked A. Open valves are B. Touch a valve to open or close it. So here's your challenge. Direct the water all the way to the tap by opening as few valves as possible. I'll give you guys a couple seconds. And that's enough time. I'm impatient, man. Let's see. I think that's enough.
There we go.
Hallelujah.
Every puzzle has an answer.
Now go and wash up.
Haha, wonderful work. I was sure that puzzle would floor the both of you, but I guess the joke's on me. Oh well, you win some, you lose some.
Actually, do I have any new journal entries? Yes, I do.
Luke keeps pushing us for us to proceed straight to the dead end by the tower. But before we do that, I only have a suspicion of my own that I feel the need to confirm. Before we go anywhere else, I think it's best we stop by the inn. I think we might be able to identify the person that has been watching us all this time.
Oh yeah, I forgot to point out. Now that you've finished the inn, you can see those two leaning out. Having such a good time, having a ball.
Hello, Professor. Is something the matter? You look a little shaken.
Beatrice, I have an urgent request. Could you show me the newspapers from the last couple of days?
The papers? Certainly. Hang on for just a moment while I fetch them for you. That's strange. I'm sure I put them down around here somewhere.
Is there a problem?
I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I can't seem to find them anywhere. Even today's morning paper seems to have gone missing.
I see. Well, thank you just the same, Beatrice. This has been most helpful.
Just what was in those papers anyway, Professor? Yoo-hoo, Professor Layton!
Ramon, and to what do we owe this visit?
Oh, he told me I needed to find you and bring you to Reinhold Manor. The inspector, I mean. Oh, he and Lady Dolly await your arrival at Reinhold Manor.
Thank you for the message. We will set out for the manor in just a few moments. The inspector's call. In order to confirm my hunch, I asked Beatrice to lend me the last few days' worth of newspapers, but it seems that someone has made up for that whole stack. Those papers would have been the decisive proof needed to confirm my suspicions, but I'll have to go on without them. I'd like to continue searching for the papers, but the inspector has summoned us, so I'll have to give up on that for now.
You found the key to the tower, haven't you?
How do you know about the key?
You mustn't interfere with the tower. Whatever you do, just stay away from there.
Interfere? What do you mean by that, dear?
Welcome back, Professor Layton. Please come in. Everyone is waiting.
Thank you, Matthew. Is something troubling you, my good man? You seem ill at ease.
Oh, no, I'm fine, sir. Please make your way to the parlor.
All right, if you're certain that nothing is the matter, we'll head upstairs. En route to the mansion, we ran into that shawled girl again. I meant to ask her many things, but she vanished moments after she appeared. She stayed just long enough to warn us to stay away from the tower. Arriving at the manor, I noticed something peculiar about Matthew's expression today. Why has the inspector called us here? Luke, my boy, to the parlor.
Ah, Mr. Layton, thank you for arriving so promptly. Come have a seat.
Why have you called us here, Inspector Chelney?
Like you, I'm not the kind of man who beats around the bush, so I'll just come out with it. I'm on you, Layton. It's clear as day. You are responsible for Simon's death.
Are you suggesting I murdered Simon? Nonsense.
Nice, Layton. I have to admire the way you keep cool under pressure. But of course, I would expect nothing less from a cold-blooded killer such as yourself. I don't suppose you've seen this before, eh? This vase was on display in the room in which Simon was found dead. All the forensic evidence I've gathered suggests that killer struck Simon with his vase. Our killer was no professional, you see. He left his fingerprints all over the murder weapon. Fingerprints that match your own, Mr. Layton.
Oh, that's the vase from the market, isn't it?
You rotten murderer.
If this vase is evidence, why did you just break it like it was nothing?
So go on and give me an alibi, Layton. Where were you when Simon was killed? Come on, out with it.
I was with Luke investigating matters down in the village.
Is that the best you can muster? It's clear little Brad's an accomplice to your crime. Admit it, Layton. You two wanted to keep the golden apple so bad that you conspired to murder Simon. You can't fool me, Layton, so cover up and start talking. While I'm at it, I'll take the key to the tower you picked up, too.
It seems that you are intent on pinning this crime on me, Inspector. But if you are a true enforcer of the law, you'll acknowledge that I'm not the only reasonable suspect. Any member of this household could have committed the crime. In fact, you can't even rule out the possibility that everyone here had a hand in the murder. Furthermore, we've been sure that a murder took place here.
What kind of nonsense are you spouting now? Do you really think anyone here is fooled by your crackpot theories?
Inspector Chelney, I'm beginning to think the only person here with something to hide is you.
That's absurd. This has nothing in the slightest to do with me.
No, Inspector, it has quite a bit to do with you.
Meaning?
Isn't it obvious? If there is any criminal element involved in this case, then it is you, sir.
Oh, that's absurd.
Hey, calm down.
What utter rubbish! You'll need more than some death charge to save your hide.
I've heard you're quite the devoted husband, Inspector. I bet you take very good care of your wife, Jane. Luke and I found this article in the paper. Luke, what was Inspector Chelmey's favorite food again? Now, a sandwich and butter bread. I believe you've confused the Inspector's favorite food with your own favorite dish, Luke. Hot, juicy roast beef. I enjoy a juicy roast as much as the next person, but it doesn't answer my question now, does it?
Yeah, I just wanted to click all those.
This article specifically states you love cakes,
Or in the American version, as I said last time, when this came up, apple fritters.
and yet you raged at poor Matthew when he brought you cakes with tea. Why?
And your point is, it just happens that I have a fondness for Jane's cakes.
Is that so? Thank you, Inspector. This little conversation has made things quite clear. Please take a look at this. I believe you just called them Jane's cakes, yes? I'd like everyone to look at the article. As you can all see, the article clearly states that Inspector Chelmey's wife is Emily, not Jane. Do you mean to tell me that you've forgotten your own wife's name? Out with it, then. Who are you, and why have you been impersonating Inspector Chelmey? And why have you been running this investigation? What, your sudden memory loss regarding your wife's name isn't the only suspicious thing about you. Try to recall the time around Simon's death. You said you received a report that prompted you to come to St. Mystere, but you forgot one thing. After Luke and I arrived, the drawbridge at St. Mystere's sole entrance had its crank stolen. This effectively sealed the village. From that point on, no one could enter or leave the village. And do you recall just when this seclusion began? Correct. The only route... Yes, this is during the search for Claudia, back in Chapter 2. The only route out of the village had been closed well before Simon's death was discovered. After that event, there was no way that anyone could enter the village from the outside. By the same token, there was no way to take things out of the village, particularly something as large as a corpse. So tell me, Inspector Chelney, when did you actually first set foot in St. Mystere? And furthermore, what did you do with Simon's remains? While we're on the subject, I have one more nagging question that I haven't been able to work out. How is it that you knew about the key to the tower that we discovered? When we happened upon that key, there wasn't a soul in the area, apart from Luke and myself. Furthermore, I have spoken of what we found there to no one. There's no conceivable way you could have known about this key. Unless, of course, you were spying on us from the shadows when we found it. Now let me see if I've got this correct. You posed as the inspector and used Simon's death as an excuse to enter Reinhold Manor. Since then, you've been waiting for the ideal time to strike and steal the golden apple from us. How am I doing so far?
What's so funny? This is no laughing matter.
I'm just astounded at how despicable I find you, Layton. But that's exactly why you're worthy of being my arch enemy. I've always despised you, Layton. I thought I'd be able to crush you once and for all here at St. Mystere, but I will have to wait since you saw through my disguise.
With an epic music, of course.
You haven't caught on yet, but St. Mystere hides a secret of epic proportions. When I imagine a dimwit like you trying to unravel the mystery, I just have to smile. My business here for the day has come to an end, so I'll be off now. But listen closely, Layton. Never forget how close you came to being bested. One day I, the great Don Paolo, will rain my vengeance down upon you. And on that fateful day, you will beg for an umbrella and a raincoat, perhaps even some galoshes.
Gosh! I guess he's gone. Do you know who that man was?
Don Paolo was his name. I've heard stories of him. His grasp of the hard sciences is rumored to be unrivaled. The problem, as you might guess, is his personality. Though he's a genius, the man is evil. The Science Board has banished him from working officially in his field ever again. Sneaking into St. Mystere to steal the Reinhold fortune sounds like the kind of scheme he would hatch.
It seems to have quite a grudge against you, Professor. What did you do to cross him?
I haven't the slightest idea, Luke.
Well, that aside, what was all that talk of a secret hidden in the village? What was he referring to?
I'm mystified by it myself. For the time being, though, let's focus on finding the golden apple, shall we? I say we follow our newest lead and head for that tower. Let's check that dead end from before, Luke.
Chapter 8 complete. Mystery number 9 solved.
Behind the vinyl mask, the man who had posed as the inspector all this time was none other than the brilliant scientist Don Paolo. It seems he, too, was after the Reinhold fortune. He alluded to some larger mystery at work here in the village, and I'm fairly certain I know which one he means.
What a shock! Who could have imagined that Don Paolo, the self-proclaimed arch-enemy of the inspector, the professor, was posing as the inspector in an effort to steal the Reinhold fortune? Then true Inspector Chelney never set foot in St. Mystere. It's probably at home in London enjoying tea and cakes right now. I'm simply shocked at this turn of events. Who could have guessed we had an imposter in our midst? He had me completely fooled. But you saw right through him, Professor. I must say, I'm quite impressed with your cunning. I ask you now to put that brilliant mind of yours to work again and set out in search of the golden apple.
It would be my pleasure, madam. By the way, are you feeling all right? You look a bit pale.
I awoke this morning with memories of a peculiar dream I must have had last night. In it, my husband and I had just had a brand new baby girl, and oh, how everyone fawned over her. The next moment, suddenly I was in a park walking hand in hand with my young daughter.
With your daughter, you say?
Now, why would I have a silly dream like that? These past few days have really been quite draining. Professor Layton, I don't feel particularly well at the moment. I think I'll go and lie down for a bit. What's wrong with Lady Dahlia?
She had a dream of walking in the park with her young daughter. There's something quite curious about that dream.
Wait, can I go? Wait, I was on the notion that I couldn't come back into this room. I didn't see Matthew in there, but oh well.
Bye.
Taking the long way around.
Yeah, I've got a new puzzle for you, dearie. I bet you're just dying to see it, aren't you?
I'm sorry, madam, but right now we're in a terrible rush.
You can't fool this old girl. I've seen you strolling around solving other people's puzzles. And now it's my turn.
Seen us? What do you mean? Have you been following us?
Puzzle 105, rolling a 3. When you roll a die, the chances of rolling a 3 are 1 in 6. The chance of rolling 3 twice in a row are 1 out of 36, and 3 times in a row are the draw dropping 1 in 216. Let's assume you roll a dice 3 times and get a 3 each time. Chances of rolling a 3 in your next roll are 1 in how many? Well, if you want to play, if you're going by 1 over 3 to the 4th, that'd be 1,290. No, 1 over 6 to the 4th, that'd be 1,200. 1 in 1,296. But if it's just for one roll, then of course the answer is always going to be 1 in 6.
Luke, here's my answer. Another
Puzzle solved. Verily, I do say.
It doesn't matter how many times you roll the same number. If you're only asking about the probability of rolling a 3 in one turn, the chances are always 1 in 6.
Yeah, you're going to the tower, aren't you, dearie? How about I show you the way?
Oh, I was under the impression that the villagers of St. Mystere hated going near the tower.
Yum. Oh, yes, I don't want to go anywhere near that place myself, so I suppose I can make an exception for a strapping man such as yourself, oh, yes.
Professor, we should really keep moving. It's a dead end, no two ways about it. Maybe there's another path to the tower hidden around here.
I'd argue that we've come to exactly the right spot, Luke.
What do you mean by that?
Look right here, Luke. There's a small indentation in the wall where one can place a small object.
Oh, so this must be...
Yes, this curious indentation is no doubt the spot indicated in Baron Reinhold's note to Archibald. I'm willing to wager that if we put this in there and give it a turn...
Wow!
Just as I suspected. All right, Luke, in we go.
Chapter 9, The Tower's Secret. A path to the tower has been found. Scale the tower and solve all the mysteries of St. Mystere. Mystery number 10 has been solved. Real short chapter, so probably the shortest so far. Maybe chapter 1.
Using the key we found beneath the waterside shack and a note in Archibald's desk, we have managed to open a path to the tower. I am relieved that we have finally made true progress in our investigation, but this is no time to revel. What mysteries await inside?
Everything will be solved. The last 8 mysteries will all become clear. Golden Apple, the noise at the manor, where the crank went, what the cogs are all about, what's up with Lady Dahlia and Lady Viola. Where people have been disappearing to? What is the rumbling? And why happened to Ramon's memory? All be solved next time when we scale the tower. See you guys then.